This is for your honeymoon with Jordan. Nicole's husband hands her sister an envelope stuffed with $500 right at the wedding reception. But that's the very money Nicole drained herself dry, working 2 grueling jobs, scrimping every last cent to save her dying father. When Nicole checks the banking app, her blood runs cold. The joint account has been completely emptied. Unable to take it anymore, Nicole rises, seizes the microphone, and unleashes a perfect revenge speech that leaves every guest utterly stunned. Tyler turns ashen as his wife exposes the brutal truth in front of the entire family and friends, but this is only the start of the nightmarish consequences Tyler will face. What exactly will Nicole say in that speech, and how will Tyler's demeanor shift when his vile secret is laid bare? And before we continue, write in the comments from which country you're watching the video, and also check if you're subscribed to the channel, as I share interesting life stories with you every day. Okay, let's enjoy the story. Nicole adjusted the lace strap of her dress. The light green silk cooled her skin pleasantly, but the nervous tension inside boiled with heat. Haley's wedding, Tyler's sister, was buzzing like a disturbed beehive. The fancy restaurant, drowning in flowers and lights, felt like a set from another life, one Nicole was supposedly part of, yet always lingering behind the scenes. She and Tyler were an ordinary family, a modest apartment in a quiet suburb, a mortgage hanging over them. Nicole juggled 2 jobs just to make ends meet. Tyler worked as a manager at a small firm, steady pay, but no real prospects. Nicole spun like a squirrel in a wheel, accountant by day, math tutor for high schoolers by night. Every penny counted, every purchase a calculated choice. Especially now, with her father needing expensive treatment. Nicole remembered how her heart clenched when the doctor delivered the verdict: surgery, and soon. The amount was overwhelming, but Nicole vowed to find it somehow. She denied herself everything: no new dresses, no impromptu coffee with friends, no small joys. All the money went into the fund for her dad's care. Tyler knew about it, of course sympathized. Nodded along, but it never went beyond words. "We can't spend on ourselves, Nicole," he'd repeat often, eyeing her tired face. "Not now." And Nicole obeyed. She got used to it, the constant scrimping, the guilt over every extra expense. She even stopped noticing how Tyler sometimes indulged in things they couldn't afford. New gadgets, pricey fishing rods for trips with buddies, brand-name clothes. "I need this for work," he'd brush off when Nicole timidly objected. Haley's wedding became another blow to her wallet. Nicole bought her dress on sale, the simplest shoes to avoid standing out. The main thing was to look decent and not spoil the party. Tyler insisted on an extravagant gift. "Can't embarrass myself in front of my family," he declared flatly. Nicole sighed and agreed. She knew Tyler's family's opinion was sacred to him. And now, sitting at a table laden with fancy appetizers and expensive booze, Nicole felt like an outsider at this celebration of life. She watched the happy faces of guests, listened to the loud music, and forced smiles in response to well wishes. Tyler sat beside her, content and relaxed, drinking heavily and laughing loudly as he spun tales for his relatives. Nicole felt irritation building. She wanted to stand and leave, escape this fake glamour and return to her little modest apartment where everything was clear and predictable. Then the gift-giving began. The newlyweds accepted envelopes and boxes with grateful smiles. When it was Tyler's turn, he stood, cleared his throat, and grabbed the microphone. "Dear Haley and Jordan," he announced solemnly, "I want to congratulate you from the bottom of my heart on this wonderful day. I wish you love, happiness, and prosperity. And from me personally, from me and Nicole, I want to give you a little something that I hope will come in handy in your new married life." With that, Tyler pulled an envelope from his jacket pocket and handed it to Haley. She accepted it with a joyful squeal. "There's 500,000 rubles in here," Tyler declared amid applause. "Start your new life with this." Nicole froze. 500,000. Where from? She felt the blood drain from her face. Her mind raced with fragments of conversations, shared plans, promises to save for her dad's treatment. Nicole felt an icy void spreading in her chest. Tyler's words, hitting like thunder from a clear sky, still echoed in her ears. 500,000 rubles from me personally. Her fingers clutched the phone in her bag convulsively. The banking app mercilessly confirmed her worst fears. The balance on their joint account had plummeted. The money she'd scraped together, denying herself everything. The money meant to save her father's life. Tyler had so casually gifted it to the newlyweds. She stared at the jubilant couple, the beaming guests, Tyler's smug grin. Everything around her seemed fake and hypocritical. In that moment, a wave of fury mixed with despair rose inside her. No, she wouldn't let him off so easily. She wouldn't let him keep pretending to be the generous, loving husband while her father faded away and she broke her back at 2 jobs. A plan formed in Nicole's mind, risky, insane, but the only right one. She knew her actions would bring unpredictable consequences, but she couldn't stay silent anymore. While Tyler soaked up congratulations, Nicole marched decisively to the MC. She politely asked for the microphone, explaining she wanted to say a few words to the newlyweds. Flattered, the MC handed it over eagerly. Nicole stepped to the center of the hall, dozens of eyes fixed on her. Tyler, noticing, raised an eyebrow questioningly. Confusion mixed with mild annoyance in his gaze. He clearly hadn't expected any initiative from her. Nicole took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. She felt everything trembling inside, but outwardly aimed for composure. "Dear Haley and Jordan," she began evenly. "I congratulate you from the heart on this beautiful day. I wish you love, happiness, and many years together." The hall erupted in approving cheers. Tyler broke into a pleased smile. He must have thought Nicole was just offering some bland well wishes. "I want to thank you, Tyler," she continued, turning to her husband, "for your generous gift. It's truly touching." Sarcasm crept faintly into Nicole's voice. Tyler frowned slightly but said nothing. Nicole paused, scanning the room. She saw curious guest faces, her mother-in-law's tense expression, Haley's puzzled look. "You know," she said, "I just learned about this gift today, along with everyone else." Silence fell over the hall. Guests stopped whispering, hanging on her every word. "The thing is," she went on, "this money, it's not entirely Tyler's, or rather, not just his. These are our shared savings, money we gathered together, denying ourselves so much. Money I earned working 2 jobs to help my family and give my father a chance at the treatment he needs." Pain rang in Nicole's voice. She couldn't hold back the emotions anymore. "Tyler always said we couldn't spend on ourselves," she continued. "He scolded me for every penny I spent on myself, yet here he is, so generously disposing of our joint money." Nicole looked straight into Tyler's eyes. Horror dawned in his gaze. He realized what was coming. "Thank you, Tyler," she finished. "I truly appreciate this surprise." Dead silence hung in the hall. No one knew what to say. Guests averted their eyes, feeling awkward and confused. Haley, beside her groom, paled. Tyler's mother gasped convulsively. Tyler stood thunderstruck. He couldn't utter a word. His face reddened with rage and shame. Nicole turned from Tyler and addressed the guests. "I'm sorry," she said, "for ruining your celebration, but I can't stay silent anymore." Haley tried to say something, defend her brother, but Nicole stopped her gently yet firmly. "I don't blame you, Haley. You just didn't know." There was no anger in her voice, just exhaustion and a profound understanding. Haley seemed to sense it. Her eyes filled with tears, and she sank weakly into a chair. At that moment, Tyler's mother, Patricia, jumped in. She'd always disliked Nicole, seeing her as unworthy of her wonderful son. Her face twisted with fury now. "How dare you, Nicole? Pull this at your own sister-in-law's wedding? Couldn't you wait? Why shame the whole family?" Nicole turned to her, fear absent from her gaze. "Patricia, I've been silent too long. I've endured humiliation, reproaches, constant scrimping so Tyler could look generous at my expense. But money for my father's health, that's a line I won't let anyone cross. And yes, better now than living a lie." His face burned, fists clenched. He tried to speak, but only a garbled rasp escaped. You, words stuck in his throat like clumps of dirt. Guests began whispering. Some lowered their eyes, some turned away. Some watched the unfolding drama with curiosity. The festive atmosphere evaporated, leaving a thick, sticky silence laced with discomfort and judgment. Haley's closest friends left first, those who knew Nicole and Tyler well enough to sense something deeper behind the gift. They approached the newlyweds, murmured quietly, and slipped out quickly. Then the rest followed, feeling uneasy and unwilling to be part of the scandal. The wedding banquet turned into a hasty exodus. One friend, Megan, approached timidly and offered a tissue. "Nicole, hang in there, you're brave." Sympathy and support shone in her eyes. Nicole nodded gratefully, taking the tissue. Tears rolled down her cheeks unbidden, not from hurt or self-pity, but from realizing it was over, that the life she'd built so stubbornly had crumbled in an instant. Patricia wouldn't let up. "You've ruined my son's life. You're ungrateful." She hurled insults, trying to wound Nicole deeply, but the words no longer hurt. Nicole detached herself, observing from afar. She saw the anger on her mother-in-law's face, Haley's confusion, Tyler's helplessness, and realized these people had never been her family. Tyler finally snapped out of it. He stepped toward Nicole, face contorted in rage. "You'll regret this, I promise you." Nicole looked at him with contempt. "You've already made me regret plenty, Tyler. You stole my hope, you betrayed me, but I won't let you control my life anymore." She turned and headed for the exit, not looking back. She felt stares full of judgment, curiosity, and pity, but it didn't matter. She no longer wanted to meet anyone's expectations. Outside the restaurant, fresh night air enveloped her. She inhaled deeply, lungs filling with oxygen, soul with freedom. She'd left the wedding without goodbyes to Tyler's family or the guests. She was saying farewell to her old life. Nicole hailed a cab and gave her apartment address. The whole ride, she stared out the window at the city's flashing lights. Chaos swirled in her mind, emptiness in her soul. But deep inside, hope flickered for a new life of freedom and independence. She knew challenges awaited: divorce, money woes, caring for her dad. But she was ready. She had the strength to face whatever fate threw her way. After all, she wasn't alone anymore. She had herself, and that was everything. Reaching her apartment, Nicole first pulled an old box of photos from the closet. She flipped through them, recalling happy moments. There she was as a kid, fishing with her dad. As a student, with friends in the park. With Tyler early on, full of hopes and love. She paused at one by the sea. They smiled, embraced, looked happy. But Nicole knew it was an illusion. Lies, deceit, betrayal hid behind that smile. She tossed it aside and closed the box. No point living in the past. Time to move forward. She grabbed her laptop and opened a legal consultation site. She needed a good lawyer for the divorce and to protect her rights. Then she called her mom. "Mom, hi. I'm okay. I just wanted to say I'm divorcing Tyler." Silence hung on the line. Then her mom asked softly, "What happened, Nicole?" Nicole told her everything. The gift, the money, the betrayal. She spoke calmly, without hysterics or accusations, just the facts. Her mom listened silently, sighing occasionally. At the end, she said, "Honey, I always knew he wasn't right for you, but I didn't want to interfere. I thought you were happy, but if you've decided this, it must be necessary. I'll always be here for you. You can count on me." Her mom's words gave Nicole strength. She felt supported, and that was key. She ended the call and shut the laptop. She needed rest and energy. Tomorrow would be tough, but she was ready. The next morning, Nicole woke to a strange emptiness. No chaos in her head, just quiet, determined clarity. Last night felt like a nightmare, but reality returned with every second. She felt like she'd shed a massive burden that had weighed her down for years. First thing before coffee, she checked her phone and the banking app. Her heart beat faster, seeing the remaining balance, the part Tyler hadn't touched. Without hesitation, she transferred it to her mom's name. Let this at least do some good, she thought, and help Dad get the best treatment. Then she called the legal consultation she'd found online. The voice was calm and professional. Nicole briefly explained her situation, skipping extras and emotions. The lawyer listened, asked clarifiers, and set a meeting for the next day. The hardest step next, filing for divorce. Nicole stared at her phone screen before dialing Tyler. The rings dragged on agonizingly. "What do you want?" his angry voice barked. "I'm filing for divorce," Nicole replied steadily. "You'll regret this," Tyler growled. "You'll end up with nothing." "I'm already with nothing, Tyler. You saw to that." Nicole kept her cool. "I just wanted you to hear it from me." She hung up without waiting. With trembling fingers, she found the district court site online and started the divorce application. Each word was hard, but she felt stronger with every click. After Nicole closed the joint savings account she'd opened with Tyler for emergencies, which had come sooner than expected, at the bank, they met her with sympathy. A staffer, recognizing Nicole, quietly asked if she was okay. Nicole nodded, fighting tears. Paperwork took time. When done, Nicole left the bank feeling she'd shut another door to the past. The remaining money? She decided to spend on herself. For the first time in ages, she ignored saving and tomorrow. She hit a clothing store and bought a new dress, light, bright, nothing like her usual practical stuff. Then a shoe store, where she lingered. She wanted something special, symbolizing her new life. She chose elegant leather heels, comfy, beautiful. Nicole imagined striding in them down new paths toward new chances. The next day, Nicole met the lawyer. The woman listened attentively, reviewed documents, and gave valuable advice. She assured Nicole of strong chances for a fair divorce and asset split. After, Nicole booked a psychologist. She knew she needed help processing the stress and rebuilding self-esteem. The first session went well. The therapist was empathetic and understanding. She helped Nicole recognize her feelings, express emotions, and plan ahead. Nicole attended therapy regularly. Each session improved her. She learned to forgive her mistakes, release the past, believe in herself, and grasp her right to happiness, love, and a worthy life. Nicole threw herself into work. She avoided thoughts of the divorce, Tyler, his sister's wedding. She just did what needed doing and did it well. Luck smiled on her job. Colleagues were supportive, seeing her struggles and helping however they could. One evening, returning from painting classes, her mom called. "Nicole, honey, how are you?" came the worried voice. "I'm good, Mom," Nicole replied, hiding her emotion. "How's Dad?" "He's a bit better," Mom said. "Thanks to your money and our savings, we paid for his treatment at a good clinic. Thank you, sweetie." Nicole's throat tightened. She was silent a long while. "Mom, I love you both," she finally said. "I'll do everything to make you happy." "We love you too, Nicole," Mom answered. "We're so proud of you. You're strong and brave. Everything will be okay." Those words fueled Nicole's strength and confidence. She realized she wasn't alone. Her family loved and backed her, and she was a strong, independent woman who could handle any hardship. The divorce from Tyler was long and ugly. He didn't want to let go, tried intimidating, humiliating, forcing her back. But Nicole stood firm. She wouldn't let him break her spirit. She knew she was right and would eventually get justice. Months later, the divorce finalized. Nicole got her share of assets and started anew. She rented a small apartment in a quiet neighborhood, furnishing it tastefully and cozily. Nicole learned to value every moment. She found joy in simple things. A sunny day, a fragrant coffee, a good book, pleasant company. She understood happiness wasn't something to chase, but to create with her own hands. Haley's wedding ended her marriage to Tyler but began her freedom. She no longer feared the future. She faced it with hope and optimism, knowing exciting, good things awaited. Nicole believed in herself, her strength, her destiny, and knew she'd be happy. 2 years had passed since that fateful wedding night. Nicole sat in her cozy apartment, sipping morning coffee while reviewing her accounting firm's quarterly reports. Her small business had grown beyond her wildest dreams. What started as freelance bookkeeping had evolved into a respected consultancy with 12 employees. Her phone buzzed, an unknown number. "Nicole? It's Haley." Nicole nearly dropped her mug. Tyler's sister, the bride from that disastrous wedding, was the last person she expected to hear from. "I know this is strange," Haley continued, her voice trembling. "But I need to see you. Please. It's about Tyler and about what really happened." They met at a Kiet cafe downtown. Haley looked different, older, wearier, with dark circles under her eyes that expensive makeup couldn't quite hide. She clutched a manila folder like a lifeline. "My marriage fell apart 6 months ago," Haley began without preamble. "Jordan left me, said he couldn't trust me anymore after he found out the truth." Nicole remained silent, letting her continue. "That money Tyler gave us, it wasn't the only time he stole from you," Haley's voice cracked. "I found these in his old room at Mom's house." She pushed the folder across the table. Inside were bank statements, credit card bills, and handwritten notes in Tyler's messy scrawl. Nicole's hands shook as she read. Tyler had been systematically draining their joint accounts for over 3 years, not just for the wedding gift. Expensive dinners with colleagues while Nicole ate instant noodles. a secret vacation with his buddies while she worked double shifts. Even a loan he'd taken against their apartment money he'd lost gambling. He told everyone you were controlling with money, Haley whispered, said you were stingy and selfish. But these receipts, God, Nicole, I'm so sorry. We all believed him. Armed with this new evidence, Nicole's lawyer reopened the divorce settlement. Tyler's fraud was now documented, provable. The court case made local news. Man defrauds wife of $50,000 for sister's wedding gift. Tyler's reputation crumbled overnight. His employer, a conservative financial firm, couldn't afford the scandal of having a documented fraud on their payroll. He was terminated immediately. His family's reaction was swift and merciless. Patricia, his mother, who had once defended him so fiercely, publicly apologized to Nicole in a letter published in the community newsletter. The extended family ostracized Tyler completely. But the sweetest justice came unexpectedly. Nicole received a call from her father's doctor. "Mrs. Roberts, I have wonderful news. A generous anonymous donor has covered all remaining costs for your father's treatment, including the experimental therapy we discussed. Everything is fully paid." Nicole knew immediately who it was. Haley had sold her wedding jewelry and her car to make amends, though she never admitted it directly. 5 years after the wedding that changed everything, Nicole stood before another altar, but this time as the bride. Marcus, her business partner turned life partner, had proposed during a weekend trip to her father's cabin. He was everything Tyler wasn't: honest, supportive, and genuinely interested in her dreams and fears. The wedding was small and intimate, just close family and friends. Her father, now fully recovered and cancer-free, walked her down the aisle with tears of pride in his eyes. As Nicole exchanged vows, she spotted a familiar face in the back row. Haley sat quietly, having asked only to witness Nicole's happiness from afar. She'd rebuilt her own life too, remarried to a kind teacher, with a baby daughter named Hope. After the ceremony, Haley approached hesitantly. "Thank you for letting me come," she said softly. "Thank you for having the courage to tell the truth," Nicole replied. "It set us both free." They embraced briefly, not as friends perhaps, but as two women who had survived the wreckage of Tyler's selfishness and found their way to better lives.